Woohoo! Welcome back. Tonight, we're going to take one final look at using a matrix to solve a system of linear equations. And in order to do it and to make it extra fun for everybody, I thought, why not do a word problem? Right? Am I right? Neo is all about the word problems. Woohoo! So, a doctor recommends that a patient takes 50 milligrams each of niacin, riboflavin, and thiamine daily to alleviate a vitamin deficiency. And I feel like I should say this is not advice that this is what you should take. This is an imaginary patient. I don't know how much you should take. Okay. In his medicine chest at home, the patient finds 3 brands of vitamin pills. This seems like a kind of a sketchy problem, but let's go. I mean, who put them there? Aliens? Nobody knows. The amounts of the relevant vitamins per pill are given in the table. Ooh. How many pills of each type should he take every day to get 50 milligrams of each vitamin? And then we get a chart that tells us we've got Vitamax, Vitron, and Vita Plus. Thank you, book, for making them all V words, so it's going to be even more exciting to tell them apart. But basically, this is the kind of word problem that I personally would look at and I would just be like, I have no idea. Because there's a lot going on. So let's talk about how to set this up. We have, for example, niacin. This is an important vitamin to get. How many milligrams? 5 milligrams here, 10 milligrams here, and 15 milligrams here. So obviously, if we were just looking at the niacin and just that, there are a lot of different things we could do. We could take 5 Vitron and be done, right? Because that's got the 50 milligrams we need there. Or we could take 10 Vitamax and hope that we're not overdosing. Or we could take 3 of the Vita Plus and be kind of close, and then maybe take a Vitamax just to be sure. So there are a lot of solutions for just niacin. The trick is going to be that we want to try to see if we can find a combination of pills that will give us 50 of each of these. And the key here is, believe it or not, that we're going to set up the matrix and it's going to look a lot like this. I'm going to let X be the number of Vitamax pills. So, how much niacin is in this mixture? If X is the number of Vitamax pills, Y is the number of Vitron pills, and Z is the number of Vita Plus pills, well, we would take 5 of the X plus 10 times the Y plus 15 times the Z, and that would give us the amount of niacin. Now, those of you who've taken chemistry, you know that there's another way to approach this. You double check. Since these are milligrams, we're taking milligrams times the number of pills plus milligrams times the number of pills plus milligrams times the number of pills will give us milligrams. So we are counting the same things. You can use a little unit algebra there to double check. So, and in the same way, if I'm taking X of the Vitamax pills, I'll be getting 15X of the riboflavin plus 20Y of the riboflavin from Vitron, and 0 times Z. There's no riboflavin in this one, and that's going to give me my 50 milligrams. And then in a similar way, if I take 10X plus 10Y plus 10Z, that should also give me my 50 milligrams. And again, this is the niacin, this is the riboflavin, and this is the thiamine. And so the goal would be to use these 3 equations and then set up a matrix. So let's go ahead and do that. And once we set up the matrix, I'm going to show you a cool trick. So I'm going to just set up my augmented matrix, 5, 10, 15, 50, 15, 20, 0, 50, 10, 10, 10, 50. And I noticed something. Every single one of the numbers is a multiple of 5. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to divide everybody by 5 because why not? You're allowed to. So I'm going to take row 1, divide it by 5, and put that back in row 1. Row 2, divide it by 5, put that back in row 2. And row 3, divide that by 5 and put that back in row 3. So my new matrix, sorry you can't see that, is 1, 2, 3, 10. 3, 4, 0, 10. 2, 2, 2, 10. Now, if I felt like it, I could go further and I could divide this bottom actually by 10. I could have gone ahead and divided by 10. So I could have made it 1, 1, 1, 5 if I felt like it. But you know what? I'm just going to leave it like that because I didn't see that at first and I'm just feeling lazy. So there we go. Now I'm going to follow exactly the usual method. I'm going to start with the 1 and I'm going to take this 1 and I'm going to use it to make zeros. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Okay, so I don't know if you guys still have a copy of this. Let me put this up here. I gotta learn to write smaller so that it doesn't take so much room. I'm gonna go after row 2. So I'm gonna say row 2 minus 3 times row 1 and put that back in row 2. Okay? Row 2 is 3, 4, 0, 10, and negative 3 row 1 is negative 3, negative 6, negative 9, negative 30. And so I get 0, negative 2, negative 9, and negative 20. Now, was there a better way to do this? Oh, yeah. If I had done the subtraction the other way around, I would have ended up with positive numbers, which may or may not be easier to deal with. So that's a choice I made. And you guys can start deciding, do you want to do that? My new matrix looks like 1, 2, 3, 10, 0, negative 2, negative 9, negative 20. You can multiply by negative 1 if you want. And then I've got 2, 2, 2, 10. Okay, so next up, I'm going to go ahead and take row 3 minus 2 row 1. Oh, I forgot to write new row 2. And I'm going to put that in row 3. So I'm going to use this to get rid of the 2. Okay, so row 3, 2, 2, 2, 10. Row 1 times negative 2, negative 2, negative 4, negative 6, negative 20. And again, you see, I did the subtraction. I could have done it the other way around and not end up with a bunch of negatives, but that is the way it is. So then I get 0, negative 2, negative 4, negative 10. And I'm going to say, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, I don't want to be stuck with this. I don't like this. This is just annoying me. And so I am also, this is my new row 3. So before I write up my new matrix, this is bugging me. Plus, they're all divisible by 2, so I'm going to go ahead and say, let's take row 3, divide by negative 2, and put that in row 3. Okay, so now my new matrix, 1, 2, 3, 10, 0, negative 2, negative 9, negative 20. Annoying, but... And then I'm going to put in 0, 1, 2, 5. What do you think? So this was my new row 3, but then I divided by negative 2. So I got 1, 2, and 5. And that's so much prettier. And I've got my 1, 0, 0. So, okay, next up, let's hope I don't run out of paper. Next up, I'm going to be going for a 1 right here. Now, I could make a 1, or what if I swap these two so that this 1 comes up here and then I don't have to do any work? That seems really nice. I'm going to switch row 2 and row 3. So what will this look like? Come, you can do it. We can do it. 1, 2, 3, 10. I'm going to swap 1, 2, 5, and then 0, -2, -9, -20. So what are the rules? The rules are you can multiply or divide by any non-zero number. You can swap 2 rows, and you can add any 2 rows. And effectively subtract as well. Okay. So far, so good. I've got my 1. I've got my zeros. I've got my 1. I need to make that a 0. So now I'm going to take row 1 minus 2 row 2 and put that back in row 1. Okay, so row 1, 1, 2, 3, 10, -2 row 2, 0, -2, -4, -10. I'm going to get 1, 0, -1, 0. Interesting. Okay. So this is my new row 1. And you know what? I'm feeling frisky, so I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and fix this one as well. I'm going to take this one and fix row 3 by taking row 3 plus, and you guys look at that, tell me how many times what do I have to multiply by row 2 to cancel out this -2? 2, you got it. So 2 row 2 and put that back in row 3. So let's see, row 3 is 0, -2, -9, -20, and +2 row 2, that's going to be 0, 2, 4, 10, and I'll get, oops, you can't see it, but I'll get it nonetheless, 0, 0, yay, -5, -10, and so my new matrix looks like I've replaced both row 1 and row 3. So I've got 1, 0, -1, 0. Then I've got the old row 2, 1, 2, 5, and then 0, 0, -5, -10. Okay, so let's review. Are we there? Are we done? The answer is no. I know, Neo's very excited. He's like, we're almost there. I know, we are almost there. So the next step, I got my 1 and my zeros. I got my 1 in the middle and my zeros above and below. So the next one I need is this. I need to get a 1. Is there a way to get a 1? And the answer is yeah, I can divide both of these numbers by -5. So that's where I'm going to start. And hope that I don't run out of space. So I'm going to take row 3, divide by -5, and put that back in row 3. And maybe I will think about writing smaller since I'm running out of space. Okay. So 1, 0, -1, 0, 0, 1, 2, 5. And then I'm going to divide by -5, so I get 0, 0, 1, 2. Take a look at that. We are almost there. Very exciting. I already know that z equals 2, so I'm going to need 2 of that pill. But we would have to do back substitution, so we don't want to do that. So now we got to get rid of the -1 and the 2. Let's do it. Okay. So in order to make a 0 here, I'm going to add 1 plus -1. So I'm going to take row 1 plus row 3 and put that back in row 1. Let's take a look at that. Row 1 1, 0, negative 1, 0. Row 3, 0, 0, 1, 2. Add them together, 1, 0, 0, 2. Now I need to get rid of this 2 in row 2. So I'm going to say row 2 minus 2 row 3 and put that back in row 2. Sorry, I didn't write this in. This is new row 1. And then I'm going to take row 2, 0, 1, 2, 5, and subtract 2 times row 3. So that's 0, 0. Well, I'm multiplying times the negative 2. Negative 2, negative 4. Adding them together and getting 0, 1, 0, 1. Oh my goodness. We are there. So this is my new row 2. So all together, my final, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful matrix starts out with 1, 0, 0, 2. The next line was 0, 1, 0, 1. And the last line is 0, 0, 1, 2. This is reduced row echelon. Yay! Woohoo! Dance party! Okay, we got to pause the dance party because we got to actually answer the question. And the question tells us we've got x equals 2. Row 2 tells us y equals 1. And row 3 tells us z equals 2. So now I'm going to have to pull up, find that piece of paper that I had that told me what my x, y, and z were. Oh, thank goodness, I've got it written down. You should always write down what your variables stand for, so that by the time you're done, if it's 17 minutes later, you'll be like, oh, I can remember what I was doing. Totally, and Neo's fine. Neo's fine. This isn't really, this is the fake world. This is not the real world. He's being covered up, but it's fine. He can breathe just fine. Okay, so I would like to use, he should use, not me, he should take 2 Vitamax, 1 Vitron, and 2 Vita Plus. Okay. Does this answer make sense? So what we can do is we can do a little check. If he takes 2 Vitamax, right? So in terms of, let's see, if he takes 2 Vitamax, let's see, niacin, riboflavin, and thiamine. So 2x is going to give us, I'm trying to figure out how to put this in so you can see everything. Oh, there's a little bit of a smeary guy down here. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, I know. That's so much better. I know. You can hardly see there was even a thing there. So if x is 2, 2x doesn't make any sense. Let me write it out as just in terms of Vitamax. So we're going to take 2 Vitamax. So that's going to give us 10 of niacin. It's going to give us 30 of riboflavin. And it's going to give us 20 of thiamine. And then we're going to take 1 of the Vitrons. And that's going to give us 10, 20, and 10. And then we're going to take 2 Vita Plus. and that's going to give us 30, 0, and 20. And so the question is, 10 plus 10 plus 30, that's 50. 30 plus 20 plus 0, that's 50. 20 plus 10 plus 20, that's 50. So if he takes 2 Vitamax, 1 Vitron, and 2 Vita Plus every day, he's going to get 50 milligrams of each of these. And we did it. And you're amazing. And I'm amazing. And we're done. And we survived this. And Neo is so proud of all of us. So I will end this video. I will just say you're amazing and incredible. And in the next video, we're actually going to start talking about what happens to matrices when they are just by themselves without worrying about word problems or linear equations. And we're going to start using matrices as big, weird numbers and do algebra. So that's the next step. So take a break, get a snack, get something to drink, and I will see you in the very next video. You are amazing. Neo loves you. I love you. Take care of yourself. Be gentle with yourself. And woohoo, math on.